Hello everyone, today I'll be making a maybe short video about Demon Slayer Season 3 and my thoughts on it, so we're going to get right into it. I'm going to start off by saying, visually, as usual, Demon Slayer is beautiful. It looks beautiful. Season 3 looks stunning. But now this is where we're going to get to the little bit of a controversial opinion maybe. It was definitely the weakest season out of the three. And I don't find that to be a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It was still a great season. However, it was not as interesting or hype as the last two. The two upper demons, they weren't as interesting. They weren't as strong. For some reason they were a lot weaker than the twins, and technically, and these two upper demons are stronger than the twins, because it's upper 6 and this is upper 4 and 5, and they were not as like strong, and it was really weird. The one I think it was upper 5. He had a vase, and he had like art. His power was art and turning people into art and shit. There was no he wasn't really scary. There was no really ever tension around both of these demons. His power was these little fish people with katanas, and I thought and they were CGI, and I thought they were pretty funny anytime I saw them. But they weren't really. He wasn't really scary. He was kind of more funny than anything. And then upper rank 4. I thought they were going to do a lot more with him. When they all form each other into that one being thing, and then with the CGI dragons to protect the body, I thought they were going to do a lot more. I thought he was awesome. But the main body was that bitchy fucking season, the bitchy upper 4 guy who he was just running away, and I found that to be kind of really annoying. That every time you saw this fucking demon, he was crying or bitching or sad, or it was like ugh, I didn't. It was not interesting. There was no tension. At the end of season 2, I wanted to fucking scream because of how much hype there was. The last 4 or 5 episodes of all the fighting and the destruction that you see, like these two demons do, that they destroy a whole village, and it's not just a hidden village for the swordsmith. It's a whole fucking village, a whole town. Like, they destroy it. Like they were so destructive and so violent, and they didn't care. And they were interesting. The story was really interesting. It was an emotional story. It was great. The last 4 episodes, I was literally on the edge of my bed, and I wanted to scream because of how much hype and just like tension and shit was in the air from watching that. There was none of that in this. The fights looked beautiful, but it wasn't like season 3. It wasn't like season 2, season 1 quality type fighting. And I feel like that's just in the manga. I don't really feel like that has anything to do with the animators. I think this might have been just kind of like a weaker arc in the manga. I haven't read it. I'm not going to read it. So that's all as I can really say on that. But it was still a great season. I would still recommend it. But I would honestly tell people. I would honestly tell people before watching it, listen, season 1, it's fucking great. The movie was great. Season 2, you're gonna want to scream after those last 4 or 5 episodes. Season 3 is good, but you're gonna be left a little. You might be left a little underwhelmed. And I feel like this was, if it is in the manga, if this is how the arc was in the manga, I kind of feel like it was maybe a little bit of like a dip to calm, to relax a little bit, because now there's upper 1, 2, and 3, I believe. So those fights should be what what upper six was. It should be unfucking believable with those fights. So I feel like maybe they're just waiting, and they're going to do that, and they're going to do those eventually. And I'm excited for that. And I know, recording this now, they just released a new arc, the training Hashara. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Arc. I hope it's not a season. I don't really care to watch that at all. To be honest, I would rather just watch a 1 hour and a half movie and call it a day. But if they do release as a season, I will most likely watch it. They had some really good, beautiful fight scenes and moments in it. But it wasn't as fulfilling as the first 2 seasons of the movie. But it was still good. I would still recommend it. I would still recommend it and watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. If you haven't watched all of Demon Slayer, this is their perfect chance to do it. I recommend just binge watching all the seasons. It's a really great show. It's not filler because it's right. I don't think it's right from the manga, but it's not filler. But shit kind of just drags on a little too much sometimes in this season, and that was another issue. I feel like the pacing was weird. I feel like realistically they maybe could have finished this season like in 8 or 9 episodes, and they needed to reach that 11 mark. But it was great. Visually, it was great. I don't want to spoil anything. That's why like I'm a little dancy around talking about it. But it was, we got a little bit of story and from the Miss Ashara. So that was nice. But like these two uppers, we didn't really get anything, and that didn't really draw you in. That didn't really give you attention. There wasn't really no risk of anything. It was kind of just more like, oh yeah, they're here. They're gonna be weaker just so we can get on with 1, 2, and 3. Don't find it to be an issue, but I wish if that is the case, I kind of wish that wasn't what happened. But I could be wrong, obviously. But yeah, that's it. If you guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments about what you guys think of it. I again recommend it. It was amazing. It was awesome. And yeah, that's it. Peace out. Bye bye.